In the vast ocean of indie games, standing out is key to success. Your game needs to attract a player's attention in a split second. So today we're breaking down 4 art styles that have the potential to make your game pop out from the masses. First up, we have what I call the organic low poly style. This art style is all about embracing basic shapes and smooth, rounded corners. Simplicity is elegance. By crafting your game world with minimalistic shapes, you not only make your life a lot easier, but also make your game visually decluttered. This approach allows indie devs to pour their heart into polishing and adding as much juice as possible. Your goal here is to keep everything as coherent and simple as possible, even when it comes to your colors. Keep it simple, keep it vibrant. You are trying to create a visually soothing experience, a breath of fresh air amidst the chaos of overly detailed and complex games. The power of minimalism is standing out by being simpler, clearer, and focused. And that is exactly what you're trying to achieve with this style. But don't confuse this style with the overused low poly look. It might be similar in a lot of ways, but in this case, you're not afraid of adding smooth edges and rounded corners to your game. You're going for the organic low poly look. A few great examples of games that use these art styles are Punch a Bunch from Pontypants or Fall Guys. Both of these games are clearly minimalistic in style and have a very soothing appearance thanks to their slick and rounded organic edges. But I think one of the biggest advantages with this approach is that it's so simple to make your game look beautiful and attractive. Next up, we journey into the world of monochromatic games. This is where games are mostly painted with one singular color. Think Return of the Obra Dinn and its iconic green dither color. By stripping away the rainbow, you're not losing vibrance, you're gaining a unique visual identity. This art style makes your game not just stand out, but also gives it a more artistic feel. It makes people feel like they are playing a work of art instead of another cheap indie game. On top of that, without the complexity of color theory on your plate, you can focus down on creating an immersive world that perfectly captures the essence of your game's theme. For example, The Unfinished Swan leverages its monochromatic style to craft an unforgettable journey, emphasizing on exploration and creativity within a seemingly blank world. This artistic choice was crucial to its success, compelling players to interact with their surroundings in a novel way, thus transforming its simple color theme into a rich narrative and a gameplay experience that deeply resonated with its audience. Before we move on, I would like to invite you to our Discord server. It's full of talented indie devs and artists who share their passions and motivations. And it's honestly growing into something I'm quite proud of, and I would love for you to be a part of that. So join the Discord with the link in the description. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's go in a completely different direction. And this is going to surprise a lot of you. We're diving into the world of realism. Before you go full-on keyboard warrior on me, hear me out. Realism was once deemed impossible for small studios, let alone solo devs. But today, a realistic style has become very accessible. Thanks to the readily available high-quality assets, even solo devs can craft worlds that rival AAA graphics. And there's no doubt that a well-executed game with realistic visuals can captivate audiences craving for the best immersion possible. Remember the day before? Despite being a pretty shitty scam, the game did prove one thing. There is a big market for realistic, immersion-based games. And if you manage to pull this off with your game, the sky is the limit. Now, realism still comes with a lot more complications than the other art styles on this list, but it also comes with a benefit that the others don't have. When you make a realistic AAA looking game, people will associate your game with other AAA games, which by itself isn't really a good thing, but it also means that you can price your game higher than if you go for a more indie low poly art style. If people see AAA graphics, they kinda expect and are willing to pay AAA prices. Lastly, let's explore a hybrid art style that has been catching a lot of eyes for quite a while now. We're talking about the blend of a 3D world with 2D characters and objects. This approach allows for complex and expressive designs without the exhaustive effort of 3D modeling and sculpting. It's a style that literally makes 2D images pop out of their 2D dimensions, and this offers a distinct look that will set your game apart from the rest. Good examples of these styles are Don't Starve and Octopath Traveler. Both of these examples merge the two dimensions in a way that feels almost natural. I personally believe that overall 2D games are harder to sell than 3D games, but this style is the exception. It suits both dimensions without devaluing either. However, you can't underestimate this art style. It might not look like it, but it's really not that easy to pull off. Since you're using both 2D and 3D, you also need skills for both these dimensions, and they are pretty different from each other. And that can make things a lot more complicated. So that's my short list of art styles that I believe can set your game apart from the vast oceans of games posted each and every day. But if you want your game to stand out even more, then consider watching this video here that teaches you 4 simple tweaks to visually enhance your game even more.